What's going on, guys? Robot Teacher in the house, and I'm here with the ADL Little Cup Draft League Final, game number 3 versus the ExoStomp Excadrills, and my man, the coach Exo, is with me again. Say hi, man.
Oh, hello everyone, I'm back.
Yep, hi back, nice to meet you. Just kidding. Right.
Oh my god, that's a bad joke.
I've said that joke far too many times now, but yeah, it never gets old. But of course, if you've watched the last 2 games, definitely you know where we're at this point. For some bizarre reason, if you haven't watched the last 2 games, you just stumbled across this video, go back and watch the last 2 games because those 2 matches were epic. Definitely fun matches to watch. We have already commentated them, but yeah. So we're going to talk about the final game here, and we are going to start rolling the video right now. So, at this point, could we do 3 in a row, of course, starting Onyx and Piplup? A lot of people were joking about that. I'm pretty sure I remember seeing someone in the chat being like, no one will ever predict the 3 of a kind. Yeah, I never expected 3 in a row. But I actually led Magnemite here, and you read me like a book, switching in Vulpix turn 1. That was a really, really smart lead, in my opinion.
Thank you.
That caught me a little bit unawares, because I was just like, huh? But you lead Onyx normally.
That's my lead, what are you doing?
Now at this point I didn't actually see the quick attack. That's one thing I noticed, having just thought back on it when I looked at my notes briefly before we started recording this one. I actually did not have knowledge of quick attack at this point. I think at this point I kind of guessed you might have had quick attack, but I did say in the chat, hey, look, this has been an epic series and whoever wins, it was fun to play. So this was kind of a nice thing for us to start off the final game. I know a lot of people were hyped for it. But yeah, at this point I was kind of in a bit of a sticky spot from turn 1. I was just like, okay, this was not what I was expecting.
Yeah, if I went for overheat, that might have been a smarter idea, but yeah.
Yeah.
I was cooked at this point.
Honestly, like, I could have just stayed in there and clicked Volt Switch and just proc my barrier use. But yeah, I went into Litten, of course, which is my standard switch. I said this before in my last 2 videos. Litten's really just here to take a fire move from the Vulpix. As we finally see, of course, their quick attack. And I rather jokingly said in the game chat on this point, I was like, oh, you sneaky boy, I can't believe you just tried to break the Sturdy on my Magnemite with a quick attack. Which was pretty funny. But again, at this point, it's kind of like, I'm in that really annoying situation where I really want to click Fake Out, but that Volibbee's alive. Obviously that's really frustrating for me, because obviously I do not want that thing getting weak armor speed boosts if I can avoid it. I don't want turn 1 or game 1 all over again. I keep saying turn for some reason. I think it's because I keep seeing it on the screen right next to my head. But yeah, obviously at this point, like, you're switching, because there's no point quick attacking a Yumi at -1.
No, you need that 9 damage.
Yeah, you need that 9%, man. Gotta have.
Yeah.
But yeah. At this point I was trying to guess what you switched into, and I kind of felt like Slowpoke or Onyx, but you actually caught me a little off guard here by going Volibee, but I ended up reading this relatively well by accident. I switched in Snubble anyway. This was a misplay on my end anyway. I actually misclicked this turn. I actually meant to go Piplup, predicting the Onyx and Slowpoke, but I misclicked and went Snubble instead.
No, you predict me. You predicted me to do.
I accidentally predicted you. But this was actually turned out to be one of my best switch, which is kind of funny to me. I had a bit of a laugh about this. I was laughing with my friend in call actually when I talked about this, because I was just like, whoops, that was not meant to happen, but it ended up going in my favor. At this point I just have an easy play rough though. Like, I can just play rough anything. I get chip damage on whatever. I don't actually remember what you went for. I don't know if you turned out on me or not, or if you just hard switched. But yeah.
I think I hard switched actually. Maybe to Slowpoke.
Yeah, you might have done. But I definitely remember. Obviously, this doesn't stay in. Well, you might have gone Onyx actually.
Yeah, Onyx actually looks better here.
Onyx actually looks really nice here. Especially as I haven't procced your or broken your Sturdy yet. This was the one problem I had with Snubble, is I didn't really want to invite Onyx in to get rocks. Yeah, you did go Onyx. As I actually tried to predict something else. I think I predicted Bellsprout for some reason, so I went for Fire Punch. Which actually isn't bad for me here, because even if I didn't get the burn, I break your Sturdy now. But now at this point, I almost inevitably go Piplup or Budew because I have to go something here. Piplup's always better, of course, because I'm pretty sure you go for rocks. Because obviously, I didn't even think about Heavy Slam, but Piplup was definitely the better switch, regardless here. And Heavy Slam does quite minimal damage to Piplup. Which was a missed opportunity here for you to get rocks up. You would have had 3 rocks, but instead you went for the aggressive play. And I understand that at this point when you're getting tired, you just want to make the aggressive plays to try and get me down or catch me out.
Well, the thing was, I was making the worst plays, yeah, because I was so tired.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I showed so many of my techs to you already. At this point, it's sort of like over for me. You practically know all my moves.
Yeah, I had a lot of information. I didn't have the Heavy Slam on the Onyx. This was the only thing I didn't have. Obviously, I saw the Stealth Rock, the Rock Blast, and the Earthquake already. So at that point, I wasn't really that concerned about the last move. But obviously, the Heavy Slam means that Snubble can't necessarily come in, which isn't so bad for me. But yeah, the missed opportunity for rocks here is nice for me because it means Magnemite can still come in at this point. And you can't realistically stay in here because Scald will kill you even in stun because you're 4 times weak to it. So, interestingly, you went for Slowpoke. I get 3 rocks because I knew you were going to switch, which I'm happy about at this point because now Vulpix is crippled in, and so is the Vullaby. And at this point, there's a lot of different things I could do. Knowing that the best thing you had to hit Budew with was Ice Beam. That helped me out a little bit here. But I'm pretty sure I just Signal Beamed here. I wanted to see how much damage I did.
Yeah, I think you did too.
Because I didn't have like full information on which side, or were you a mixed bulk, or were you purely physical, or anything like that on this Slowpoke. So I'm pretty sure I just wanted information. Because I knew you couldn't really touch Piplup, to be fair. Like, you don't really have a lot that hits Piplup. Because I knew 3 of your moves, I didn't know the last one. The last move was Slack Off, which we actually saw hovered over in Game 1. I obviously didn't know that, because obviously I wasn't around, but yeah, having seen it, I kind of guessed that. Originally, I was still concerned about Psychic, because I obviously didn't see Slack Off, so I was kind of like, I use 4 attacks, which I won't be surprised. I've run 4 attacks Slowbro Slowking before, because I usually like to run Assault Vest, so...
yeah, actually 4 attacks is pretty nice, so...
Yeah. But yeah, we both took a time still. Obviously at this point, I've got initiative, I've got rocks up, so I'm quite happy here. I made a couple of good plays early on, including one accidental good one in turn 3, which was funny to me. Yeah, I did go for Signal Beam, which actually did less than I thought it did, but I did get the confusion and you hurt yourself, which was unlucky.
Of course.
But at this point, the Signal Beam is a roll to kill you. Knowing now that you had a little bit of mixed bulk means that my Signal Beam wasn't a guaranteed kill, which was a little bit annoying. I was hoping you were purely physical so I could Signal Beam and kill you again, because if you're a purely physical Slowpoke, even with the Violate, Signal Beam does about 60%, so I knew you couldn't take 2.
Yeah, I got extremely... What is that, a 10% chance or 20?
I think it's 10, yeah.
10, and then I got the 50%, you got the 50% on me for the hit, which is annoying.
Yeah, obviously Slowpoke does have Regenerator for those that aren't too familiar, so the switch out here isn't necessarily that bad for you. And if you think I'm gonna go for Signal Beam again, which in this situation is a good play for me, you've easily got like a switch in a Vulpix or a Vullaby on your hands if you wanted to go for it. But the problem with both of those switching in is rocks. Machop is also a nice neutral switch. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I just Signal Beam again here. I don't see a reason for me not to. I'm not sure what I was calcing here. I think I was just trying to gauge what your Slowpoke set was at this point, which was taking me quite a bit of time to figure it out. But yeah, this was the one Pokemon I didn't have that much information on. Obviously, I kind of knew the rest of your sets. But yeah, as you can see on the screen there, you did hover off the Slack Off. Which again, still didn't know about it. Still could have been worried about Psychic. Psychic actually is really annoying for my team, not gonna lie. Except for Abra and Magnemite.
The only thing is that, yeah, like you said, you didn't know if I had. You didn't know my fourth move at the time, so you weren't sure because Slowpoke learns a lot of stuff.
I mean,
So
technically, I didn't know your third either. I kind of inferred Ice Beam because I figured you'd have prep for Dratini. But yeah, as you can see, I low roll the Signal Beam here. As you did actually opt for Earthquake, which was kind of an interesting play here. I guess you were expecting me to go Mag again, which I could easily have done because I still have my Berry Juice. So Mag would have put me Sturdy Berry Juice and put me back up to full again.
well, it was actually the only thing that wasn't resisted on my Slowpoke versus it.
Of course, I didn't know this because I still could have guessed you had Psychic, which would have been your best move to hit this thing. So, but either way, Signal Beam was just way too safe for me. Now, obviously, at this point, like, you can still switch your Slowpoke and have enough health back to switch in again. But you actually decided to give me the Slowpoke. Not sure that was your best play, if I'm honest.
No. No, this whole game was my worst play.
I feel like Machop was probably better, but again, it's a hard decision for you at this point. But yeah, this kind of gave me an early advantage. Now I didn't have to worry about the Slowpoke. I had safer switch-ins in many respects. Obviously, Snubbull still being around is kind of the annoyance for you, particularly for the Machop. But yeah, like, I have all 6 of my Mons. I have my Intimidate core up. Like, at this point, you kind of really want rocks. Like, that's the one thing. Now, obviously, my Piplup doesn't actually outspeed your Onix. I'm actually not running any speed at all on this Piplup. I'm actually as, like, modest max special attack with max special defense and a bit of physical bulk. So, I actually had an awful lot more investment in my offensive studs. But I feel like at this point, Machop's just the obvious play. Just Machop and knock off, try and get rid of something's item. Either that or go for rocks. But against Piplup, you probably don't want to put your Onix in here. Because I live just about anything you do. You have to Rock Blast 4 hit me to kill me at this range. So, it's kind of a tricky situation. So obviously Machop comes out. Makes perfect sense. Now again, I still have both my Intimidators up, so I can literally just pick one and go for it at this point. I felt like Snubbull was my easier play regardless here. Obviously I know the Bullet Punch exists, but Snubbull needs it. I'm not actually sure what you were thinking here.
I think I was thinking to switch, predicting one of your Intimidate Mons to come in.
Yeah, that would make sense. Just go Vulpix. Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. But yeah, even at this point, like, your decision making was still tough. I did go Snubbull. Obvious play. As we didn't see the knock. Oh, I remember this sequence of events. I'm sure you do now. So you knocked off my Berry Juice here, which is kind of annoying for me. Now, obviously, at this point, Play Rough is fairly safe for me. I'm not that concerned. I knew you lived it because of it being a Violite. I knew you lived it. Obviously, you don't really take it too well. If once you take this, you barely even switch back in on rocks. So, Play Rough was just an easy play for me here. I had no reason not to click it. But if I remember correctly here, I know what comes.
I don't want to. Dude, this whole game
this was the one
thing
you didn't want to relive, yeah.
I heard, like, I have, like... Okay, so if you think about it, this is turn 10. 9 out of the 10 turns, I think we're bad plays.
Certainly at least 4 of them, yeah. As here comes the second. Now, to be fair, at this point, predicting a switch makes sense in a way. Oh, can I knock off something else's item? If you thought I was going to switch, but I'm Snubbull against Machop. I click Play Rough. Right? No reason for me to do anything else. But if I remember correct, this was the embarrassing turn. This was the turn where it went wrong. At this point, this was the critical moment for me where I started to surge ahead.
I don't want to remember this.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you were still like, because you were jumping between Bullet Punch and Knockoff for like quite a while here. You initially said, "Oh, I click Bullet Punch here for damage," and then you were like, "Oh, but if he switches, I click Knockoff," and then you went back to Bullet Punch again. And then at this point, I'm pretty sure you said Knockoff was better. So you went back for it, not realizing, still in your own head, that I had one cool little tech move on my little snowball here, which I definitely was very happy that I put it on this set. I almost didn't, but yeah. Yeah, I can still see you trying to talk yourself in. I did like the Galaxy was like, go for the 50-50 play. Bless him. He was definitely
the thing was, I was really thinking that you still had your berry juice, even though I just knocked it off.
This
and
was
I don't know. I was
though.
like, oh, I can knock off his berry juice. It's like that meme from SpongeBob where Patrick was like, I think I'll have it now. It's
Yeah,
the same thing.
that's so true. Oh, that's so funny. Yeah. Yeah, that was definitely a horrible situation. I wasn't even sure what I was debating here. I think if I debated if you switched and saved the thing for some reason.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure I fairly much instantly locked Thief at this point. But you were still jumping between your moves.
Oh god, I don't want to watch this.
But even if you bullet punched, honestly, it wouldn't have done that much. So I wasn't that concerned about the bullet punch. I think at this point you were constantly trying to guess, and I think you were calculating if bullet punch actually put me in berry juice range. I think there was definitely a point. I think it was this point actually where you were calculating it. Or you were calculating if bullet punch actually puts me in berry juice range. And then you opted for it. And I just like, yoink, give me your item. I'll have that if I like, thank you very much. And of course I knock out the Bishop, which of course was critical mass in many respects, because this puts me in such an advantageous position. At this point we see that wry smile in your face when you suddenly realise what had gone on here.
See, the thing was, if I actually was smart enough, I would have went for bullet punch, and then Vulpix would have done enough with overheat to kill. But now it's like a roll, so it's so weird.
Yeah, and you know, as soon as Vulpix comes out, I'm switching Litten in every time. I've been doing that like the whole series. So even if Vulpix did come in, I save my Snubble. As we do, of course, see the Vulpix come in. Not too surprised to see that. But yeah, here at this point, I can just freely go into Litten, because at this point, Litten's just so easy a switch. I have no rocks up, so Litten's not taking damage on entry. And I can just sit back in and take it. Now, I'm not actually sure if you tried to predict that and then double. I'm not 100% sure, I don't remember. But I definitely do remember after you saying this, you were like, I need to make aggressive plays now, I'm behind quite badly. But as you can see, I make the safe play, just go straight to Litten. As we do see the overheat, which did crit me, which was kind of unfortunate for me. Because the overheat without the crit would not have done that much anywhere near that. It would have done max like 40%.
True.
So this was a horrible situation for me here. I'm pretty sure I actually took the aggressive play here. Because obviously I know you're switching out, right? You're not doing much here at this point.
Or am I?
Or am I? Yeah. But even then, I still didn't really need Litten, so I wasn't that concerned about Litten anymore. Maybe I should have been, but I don't think it mattered too much in the context of the game state. I was so far ahead. Obviously, the crit was kind of semi-justice for you, because it was like, oh, you need to get something back. Because obviously this thing can't switch back in on rocks now at that health, which is kind of unfortunate for me. But you gotta get rocks up first. As we do see the Onyx play, I did actually switch into Snubble here, predicting Volibee to come in. Because obviously the fake out play was too obvious, as was the U-turn. So I misplayed here, of course. This misplay does give you another opportunity to set Stealth Rocks up, which kind of sucks for me, because this kind of loses that momentum that I had. And obviously gives you a little bit of leeway back into the game, which was an okay turn for you. But I do just go straight back to Piplup as you get the rocks back up. Now, of course, again, we'll go back to the earlier calcs where you needed 4 hits of Rock Blast to kill me, or you needed an Earthquake crit like you got in Game 1. Something like that would have to happen here, otherwise I can just freely defog. Because at this point you were still guessing. You still didn't have full confirmation that I was defog. You had 3 of my moves at this point, obviously with Rocks, Scald, and Signal Beam. But you still didn't know what the last move was, and this was the funny part to me.
Yeah.
Because I could have Aqua Jetted here and still killed you. funny enough.
Does it really kill?
It does kill, yeah.
A defensive Onyx too, or no?
I think so, yeah. I think I counted it as a defensive one. I might be wrong. I might have counted it as like the weak armor set or something, but I'm pretty sure at the time when I counted this, I was like, Aquajet probably would kill you anyway. But yeah, you had to hit 4 hits of a Rock Blast to kill me here. In fact, you may have had to have hit more because you were intimidated. It might have been you needed a 5 hit. So you didn't opt to switch out, go to Bellsprout, and I clicked Defog. So I finally revealed my 4th move here. Which was good and bad. It was good because now your Vulpix can switch back in. And it was kind of bad for me because, obviously, well, actually no, it was good for me because now my Mag switches in safely. And also so does my Litten. They both switch back in. But it was kind of bad for you at the same time because you needed rocks for Mag still at this point. Because my Magnemite hasn't taken any damage yet. I don't remember if I sacked Piplup or I sacked Litten. But I know I sacked one of them at one point. But yeah, this was kind of a bit of a predicament.
Yeah, this is a hard choice for you because I can go for anything and either kill it or do a lot of damage to it, so...
Yeah, exactly. Like, the Solar Beam seemed obvious here, because obviously that would be your best chance to kill Piplup. Either that or your Weather Ball predicting my Magnemite to come in. Or you Sludge Bomb predicting my Snubble, which was kind of annoying for me as well, because of course my Snubble had Fire Punch, which would have been very powerful in the sun. I don't actually remember the play I did make. I know I had a lot of decisions to make. At the same time, so did you. Although Solar Beam seems like the safer play. Solar Beam kills the Litten, it does a lot to this. It does still hit Snubble relatively hard, it does hit Body relatively hard. But yeah, I went Mag here. Solar Beam was okay. Does proc my Berry Juice, of course. That was a high roll on your Solar Beam, which procced it.
Sadly.
Unfortunately for you, but good news for me, of course. I think the reason I went Mag here was because the sun ran out that turn, so I knew I outsped. Now at this point, this was the prediction I think that won me the game. Because I remember this, I remember watching this back. At this point, you had like multiple options that you could go into. You could go to Onyx, but Onyx doesn't take a Flash Cannon. Or you go like Vulpix or Vullaby, but neither one of them really want to take a Discharge or a Volt Switch. At this point, you didn't see I had Volt Switch. You knew I had Discharge, but I don't remember if you saw or if I had Volt Switch or not. But this was the kind of decision making I had here. I did, of course, have Hidden Power Fire as well, which would have OHKO'd the Bellsprout at this range. But yeah, you went Vulpix, predicting me to Flash Cannon, and I Volt Switch out. Had I Discharged here, I actually would have killed the Vulpix. But I went for Volt Switch, and you were just like, huh? Why? I could have just gone Onyx here. But this prediction was what won me the game, I think. Because I felt like you couldn't go Onyx at this point. I was like, if you predict me to Flash Cannon, Onyx is not a switch. You haven't got your sturdy up. So that was why I went for Volt Switch there. Just because I gained momentum on anything, really. Because I knew you weren't going Onyx. So Volt Switch was just the safest play. Now at this point, I can do whatever I wanted. But I remember this turn, I went to Litten just to sack it off.
At this point, I was trying to not get 6-0'd, so I was like, oh, perfect. Oh, good, thank God.
Yeah. But yeah, I could have discharged there and killed the Vulpix and not have this turn, but at the same time, it didn't matter. I was so far ahead at this point. I have so much damage on this Vulpix, I don't even need rocks anymore. But yeah, at this point, it's like the decision is, do you like Flamethrower to hit everything? Do you Overheat to hit anything? Or do you just Quick Attack to kill the Litten in front of you? That was kind of like the weird thing. Because the thing for me is I could Fake Out here. Still. I could make it. I did make one aggressive Fake Out earlier in Game 2. Because I thought you might stay in. So I could make it. But then again, Vullaby actually can still win you this game. So I was in a tight spot myself. And I was just like, what do I guess here? Do I guess you Quick Attack to try and kill me? Do I guess the fake out outcome so you go Volibee, or do I click U-turn on the off chance that you switch? Which was kind of the decision making I had to go for. But I'm pretty sure you quick attack kill me here. There's no reason for you not to do it at this point. Even though you're -1, you still kill me. So it doesn't really matter at this point for me. But then again, because I'm pretty sure if I remember correct, you quick attack kill me here, and then I just go into Abra. Because at this point, I can just sack anything, go Abra. Like, that's the one problem that Vulpix has, is I can just sack them on, go Abra every time, and then your Vulpix is like, well, what of it? Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I could do many things here. I can even go Piplup at this point. But yeah, the real hard thing for me here is the sun being up. That does sway a lot of my decisions. But yeah, I definitely remember this taking some of the longest time in the match, I think. I think this was the turn we both took quite some time over. Because you had to guess.
I had to not get 6-0'd, okay?
Yeah, I wasn't even concerned about being 6-0 or anything like that. I was just trying to find a way to navigate a way to win the match without screwing up.
Oh, dude, you would have to have, like, actually closed out of the game in order for me to win at this point.
It felt like that for you. I can tell that when I was watching the video. Well, even at this point, I was still nervous. Like, because I'm usually someone that is a little nervy until the last mon goes down. So this was a tight decision for you. I think what sold this for me, for you going for either quick attack or a fire move, was the fact that you couldn't get back in on rocks. Just because I could easily put Piplup in here and get rocks back up, and now your Vulpix can't come back in. So there's a lot of situations here where just clicking the fire move makes the most sense. But then if you do that and I clicked fake out, this Vulpix dies. So this was where the difficulty comes in.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure at this point I was just like, I don't really care what happens. But yeah, I can see even one of the viewers in the chat there was actually talking about what your options are, and I can see you talking it out, which I was happy with. I gave you a lot of time to think here, which may have been my mistake. I probably should have just straight up gone for fake out and just auto-clicked it, but even then at this point I think you hadn't clicked the move at all at this point. So I had plenty of time to think myself, which was nice. I'm pretty sure at this point I was just looking at how do I win the game, knowing that Bellsprout had Sucker Punch, Abra wasn't a free win anymore. I think I was just trying to look for a way to get Mag in safely to try and pick up some curls. But yeah, I think that was the thing that sold it for me, where Galaxy said, "Head, will Vulpix ever have a chance to do anything if you switched out?" And now I think that's what decided on you staying in. But it was just what move you clicked was the different side of it.
Yeah, it was a big toss-up because, I mean, honestly, I really did think that you threw this out to fake out or to throw away. You had two choices, which is what I was concerned about.
Yeah, definitely. And you knew I was switching Litten in on Vulpix quite a lot. Litten's job was just tank a hit and chip you down as best as possible. Obviously, it was mostly there as a more supportive set. I wasn't running like Flare Blitz or anything like that, so I did actually have Crunch on it for Slowpoke, which is the one move that didn't come out in this game, because obviously Fake Out U-turn and Flame Charge all came out. Fake Out Flame Charge in game 1 and U-turn in game 2, so but yeah, I'm pretty sure I just U-turned here on the off chance that you didn't actually kill me. I think that's what I opted for, because there was no point me going for fake out because Volibee was still alive. Not worth it. For me, it wasn't worth the risk.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was interesting that Galaxy here says switch out, which I thought was kind of interesting to me. But yeah, there's a lot of things that we had to consider. There was more for you to consider here than for me, because I would be quite happy to throw this thing away and not matter. But you were really hovering this Volibee for some time.
I was thinking, if he does go for fake out, I might be able to get a few more kills and maybe come back and sweep with the Vulpix Bellsprout combo, but yeah, it was tough.
Which is not any reason to be worried about, because that is a deadly combination to deal with, even for a full team of 6. It's not easy. And I was aware of that. I was consciously aware of this at the time. But yeah, I'm fairly sure if I remember right after all this, I'm pretty sure you just killed my Linton. Because I didn't need this thing anymore. Oh no, you actually switched. You went for Onyx and I predicted it by the U-turn. So I did go for the U-turn on the off chance you didn't kill me. Which I got that play, which was nice. Now here, I'm pretty sure I can just go purple up or bud you. Don't really mind which I'll go into at this point.
I was hoping that the U-turn or whatever you went for would pop my, my berry juice, but that didn't work.
Obviously, U-turn being resisted by Onyx doesn't really help that cause. So that's, I mean, U-turn was literally just a random clickable move. To be fair, had I clicked Crunch there, I would have proc the berry juice. But I'm really glad I U-turned out. Yeah, Piplup makes sense here. This was mostly in case you tried to get rocks up, which was still a necessity for you. My mag was at full health at this point, so rocks were a necessity. Rocks weren't necessarily a necessity for me, so I could freely skull here as well, which was something to bear in mind. But yeah, at this point you're just so far behind, you have to make decisions. We can see by the rather pained expression on your face that it's really, really not a comfortable spot for you anymore.
Well, I have to rely at this point on a rock, like a lot of rock blast hits, like 4 or 5, or a crit, like you said. So, because I didn't, if you got up rocks here, the game was over. And then I can't set up Sun for free. So.
Yeah. I mean, Rock Blast made the most sense here. 4 hits, regular hits would kill me. 1 crit would kill me.
Yeah.
So anything like that, I had that situation to deal with. Although if you 2-hit me and only 1 hit crit, then I still would live. You'd have to 2-hit 2 crit to kill me. So it was kind of a tough situation. But at this point, you are so far on the back foot. It's a horrible situation because I can freely skull here if I wanted to, or I can rocks here. Rock's obviously cripping the Vulpix to make sure the Vulpix can switch it, which is the other side to this story for me. And then of course there's Volibee as well, which doesn't want to take the rocks, because if it takes rocks damage, the Snubbles play rough deals it. So you did go for the Rock Blast here, as expected. You only get 2 hits, which sucked, and I went for rocks. This was obviously my best play, in my opinion. I could Skull Kill you, but then I can still let you switch Vulpix in, which I didn't want, or Bellsprout comes in, which equally I didn't want. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I just let Piplup go down here.
Yes, yeah, you don't
Piplup
really
doesn't need Piplup. Piplup doesn't need to be here anymore. Or the other option here is I switch out, keep Piplup alive and go Litten, but that gives you rocks, which I didn't want. Yeah, I actually went Bud You here, and I remember why I went this. You did of course get the rocks up, which is fine. Obviously you would have got rocks up anyway because you would have outsped. I could have Big Brain Played and Defogged that turn, which would have literally been God tier. But yeah, there was no need for that, but I remember why I went Bud You now. This was a very cool little maneuver that I pulled off here. I'm sure you probably remember what this was.
Oh, I remember.
I was surprised at this play. This was the play I was surprised at. And as I set up spikes here, I was surprised you sacked Vulpix, given the fact you only had 1 turn of Sun left. What I would have done there is actually stayed in with Onyx and clicked a Rock Blast, or an Earthquake, and then actually see what I went for, because that would have meant your Sun run out, so you could switch it in.
Well, Vulpix died anyway, so
oh yeah, you wouldn't have Drought, would you?
Yeah, it doesn't work.
Okay, that's
so.
fine. I always forget that. I always forget if Drought procs on entry before Rocks does, but no, it's Rocks first. So yeah, you were in a horrible spot here. Now at this point, I remember this, because I still hadn't seen your last, I had seen your last move, I'd seen the U-turn, so I knew your full set. So I knew you weren't going to Brave Bird me. The most you would do is about 60% with a knockoff. So at this point, I was just like, well, I can just set up another spikes here. That's bomb by me.
This man is setting up spikes, like, come on, man.
I know, I brought spikes to Little Cup. Like, who'd have thunk it?
Oh my god.
But yeah, here comes a sunny day, so I get another layer of spikes up. That's fine. Now this does proc your Onyx's Berry Juice, which is something to bear in mind, but I don't care. I'm so far ahead at this point, it don't even matter, right? Oh dear. No, if I remember right, you might have U-turned into Onyx here. It would have made sense. Of course, the one thing that Baidu does get, which was interesting, is Dazzling Beam, which does hit Volibee relatively hard, but we saw how much Abras did, and Abras was offensive, so Baidu wasn't not going to do a lot here, to be honest. I actually could just freely set up another layer of spikes here, but if I remember right, this was the other prediction that won me the game. If I remember correct. Because I could also go Sludge Bomb here, which is like a neutral play. Because I've got 2 layers of spikes and Rock Sub. So if you did go Bellsprout, you're in range for Sludge Bomb to kill you.
Yeah.
Which was the other situation.
Oh, I remember. Yeah, you showed a tech here.
Yeah, because you did U-turn out. Yeah, this was exactly what I thought. You went Bellsprout, and then bang, here comes the Sludge Bomb. And it's completely caught you unawares. You were just like, well, damn, now this is over. Because now suddenly you lost your sweeper. You went Onyx, get back the health back for Berry Juice. But again, that's fine for me. I don't mind. At this point, I do not mind. The Sludge Bomb prediction was definitely the way to win the game. Definitely a horrible spot. Now, to be fair, I only went Sludge Bomb there just on the off chance, but even if you stayed in, or even if you went Onyx, I had a chance to poison you, right? So,
right.
It was a fairly safe play. There was no point me Dazzling Beaming, honestly. But here comes the Rock Blast, which does not kill me if I remember correct. Yeah, I lived on one more. I go for Sludge Bomb and I get the poison. Honestly, this poison did not matter. The poison really did not matter at this point. Now at this point, Magnemite just kind of wins the game. Magnemite just wins on its own. But I'm fairly sure I sacked off Baidu here. I didn't need Baidu anymore. Baidu had already done its job. Yeah, he just killed me with Earthquake. And now at this point, I do whatever I want. Basically, I could just do whatever. Yeah,
well,
I actually went
get
Snubble
6-0.
here, which was kind of clever. Yeah, you didn't. I didn't 6-0 you. I could have 6-0'd you if I really wanted to, but no need. As we do see the Heavy Slam, but I'm a Violite. I take it perfectly fine. Play Rough puts you right down into death range, and there was where I sack off Litten. Litten didn't really need to be here anyway. I think I just kept Snubble for the memes, but Snubble was fun. Yeah, I sacked off Litten here just to see what you went for. As you actually went for Earthquake, and then Onyx just dies to itself. And then, of course, Magnemite can just come in here for free and do whatever it wants here. But I actually went for Abra. This was an interesting situation here. Because, of course, I went for the kill. Didn't happen. You roosted up, and we went back to square one. And at this point, I had to go Magnemite here. Or I could just go Snubble, get the Intimidate off. That was the other thing I could do. Which I think was the other low-key reason why I saved my Snubble. But yeah, this was a difficult spot for you anyway, because even if you roost here, double discharge from Magnemite kills, and you can't really two-shot Magnemite, so yeah, I was in an okay spot here. I was quite happy to do whatever.
Okay spot? What the heck? You have 4 Pokemon left.
I know, right? Yeah.
At this point, it's over.
At this point, it was well and truly over. We're obviously just playing out the last few turns just to show how it ended. But yeah, at this point, obviously, it was pretty much confirmed that I win this game 2-1. But it was an epic series regardless, though. This series definitely lived up to the hype. Of course, we were the 2 strongest players in the tournament, as I actually just go for Dazzling Beam just to put you down in range, and you knock off kill my Abra. Whatever, doesn't matter. Magnemite just comes in and kills because I'm faster, because I was max speed Magnemite. And then I just click discharge to kill you. Or I might have clicked volt switch to meme on you, but I'm pretty sure I discharged. Yeah, discharge. And that's the end of the game. So, that means, of course, unfortunately, Exo, I took the crown this time. I won this 2-1. But, as you guys will see in my next video, I will not be facing Exo in the IUBL tournament. There'll be a good reason for that. I'm not going to fully spoil it just yet, but you will soon find out. But yeah, good games, Exo. These were hella fun games.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
Oh dear. But yeah, better luck next time, of course. If we do another Little Cup tourney soon, I can't wait to have a rematch. maybe we'll have different teams. But yeah, either way, it's going to be fun. It's always fun playing against you. I will be playing you in a couple of weeks' time, actually, in the next match of the GPL. So,
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
alright, I look forward to that. Thank you, of course, for joining me. I'm sure this game was probably a more painful one for you.
Oh no, it's fine.
Oh dear. Alright, but with that, we're gonna get on out of here. My name is Robombi Teacher. I'm your coach of the Robomb with Robombies. Stay safe, stay awesome, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.